Yeah, I love it, man. I love this guitar. And then I put all these things on it. I like Grant because I love Grant because he was an alcoholic and he was a president. And he was told everybody what the fuck to do, and he kicked the rebels' asses. So that's why I got him on there. A girl in Germany gave me this. She's like, I want you to make me famous. And she's like, so you put this on your guitar. And she said, and showed the world my her designs. And I couldn't remember who the hell she was. I forgot. And I didn't keep in touch with her. And then, I don't carry it. I don't have a cell phone, so I don't know. I like it that way. My family's in horror. They look at me in horror of not having a cell phone, much less a car. They're like fucking. They're like, damn, dude. Yeah, I said, yeah, it's me. I don't. You motherfucker, bullshit up. That was my thing. I idolized Walter Cronkite, and I wanted to be like him. that was my main thing. And then I got into, I love cars too. I like, I put together. I had like hundreds of models, and I wanted to get into. They had a metal shop, and they had a mechanical thing there, and my enemy was in there, and if he wasn't in there. His last name was Horner, and it kind of reminds me. It reminds me of that book, what's that famous book, Catcher in the Rye. He was like my bully. He would beat my ass all the fucking time, call me a girl, and sit in shit. So my curriculum would have been that. So I had my extra thing. So I ended up in junior course. So I was in junior course, and it was just me and all of the girls. So he was every time he would fuck with me, they would take up for me and shit. And then I decided I was going to play football. So I went to Loudoun County and played for the Raiders. So I got on the fucking football team. So then Horner, he left me alone after I got on the football team because I had all these buddies and everything. And so anyway, I met this girl, and she was in Students for Democratic Society Against the War. She turned me on to Bobby Seale and Abby Hoffman and all that stuff. And she was telling me how violent football was. And then she gave me this book.
Right over the middle it is. Junker at the 10-5.
And a guy was on the St. Louis Cardinals. They wrote a book about how violent football was. And I had a scholarship to go to Stony Brook. I was a defensive end. I had a touchdown. Nobody else had a touchdown. Matter of fact, I think we only got 3 touchdowns the whole year. So anyway, so I quit the football team, and I was really. And then we ended up, me and her got in a fight, and she broke up with me. And so then she was my first girlfriend, and I was just totally devastated. So then my goal was I wanted to go to Vietnam. That's what I wanted to do. And I got into this. They had the things in school where you could get into that. So I got into that and decided I was going to do that. And I went to take the test for that, and I had flat feet. So then I couldn't get in, and so that I was just totally devastated. So I said, well, fuck it, I'm just going to be a drug addict, man. So that's it. I just drank, and I ran away from the children's home, and ever since then, that's what I've done. We're going down, 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 down into the solid ground. If you look at that again, you'll see that this right here it's like the mouth of a cave, and this is the inside of the cave, and that's the outside. If you look at it, see right there, it's like the door. It's like these like little stone-shaped stones, and that's inside of my mind. All this stuff is like like that's my mind inside my mind, but it's like a trick. I use like markers, like cheap markers, and then I most of the time I laminate the art, so that makes it really cool. There's a lot of artists that hate that because they feel like it's kind of wrong to do that. Why, I don't know, because you can throw it on the fucking floor, you can take it in the fucking shower, you can wash it off. It makes sense to me.
I met Terry when I was like 18 years old. I was trying to get a job at the Little Grill here in Harrisonburg, and he had some art up at the grill, and I just saw that and blew me. That didn't blow me away. I mean, it blew me away, but it was just like, what is that? You know, I haven't seen anything like that.
Usually you have an artist, you know, somebody like Picasso, you know, he's working in different mediums, you know, but it's all kind of in the visual art realm. It's like with Terry, you know, he's an artist, and, you know, he's making poetry, he's making visual art, he's, you know, making music, and all different kinds of each one of those things. And he's just so spread out with his expression. That's kind of what sustains his existence, I think.
And my friend, is that picture over there? That's me. My friend, he ended up dying, but we were the Blacks Run Goats, and we were the punk band around here. And then there's Calvin. He's in the wheelchair. He was we let him in, and Rick would tease him mercilessly. That's how Rick was a good dude though, but he would tease Calvin all the time, call him a dumber. He says, you're not a drummer, you're just a dumber. Then Rick ended up dying. He died, and he was murdered. And then after that, Calvin, so I separated ways with Calvin, and he kept trying to get in touch with me, man. So I was just trying to stay away from him. I got involved with the Little Grill. Ron Copeland hired me at the Little Grill, and I had the stipulation that if I didn't drink, I had a job. So I took the job, and I managed not to drink. So anyway, it turned over into a collective. I told him, I said, Ron, I'm not going to those meetings anymore, man, because you're not the owner now. So I said, I got the 2 books. I got the 12-step Works If You Work It. I know how to read, so I'll look them up, and if I have any problems, I'll just go into that fucking book, you know. And I've got them here. I'll be okay. So then I immediately started drinking again. I love dishwashing. So when it became a collective, I just wanted to be a dishwasher. I'm the mental dishwasher. I'm on top of the 2%. I'm the mental dishwasher. I'm on top of the 2%. Well, now the waitresses call me daddy, and the boss just calls me heaven sent. Mensa dishwasher. could play by myself pretty easy and, you know, get up there and entertain a crowd, but I had this longing after Rick died, man. I just wanted to get in another band, but I really didn't like, I didn't want to play a lot of covers. I wanted to create stuff, and I didn't really think I could find anybody, you know, that I could do it with. It was probably 2004, I guess, maybe. And he'd been checking my art out, and he'd been looking. He wanted to know who did it, and he came in and met me. And then he ended up getting a job where I was working at. I was thinking, I wonder if he wants to have a band. He likes my art. Yeah, he wouldn't want to be in a band with me. And I'm like, so I thought about it for like, I probably took spent a week thinking about it, pondering it, how I would say it to him. So I went up to him, and when I told him, it's like he had an electric cord connected to his face, and like it's like his face became a sun, man. It's like.
I listened to music. I was an avid listener and had an interest in bands and stuff, but I didn't know that I could do anything. Terry wanted to start a band, and he was like, I'll just get a drum machine and you can do that stuff, and then I'll play guitar and sing. And I was like, well, I got the theremin, I can add that. You know, he's like, okay, we can do that. And our first practice was like 4 hours long, and we probably did like 25 songs. I mean, did songs. I would just find the beat on the drum machine, like that was on the drum machine, and play that, and Terry would, you know, shuffle along to it. I mean, but that was kind of a work ethic that has always stuck. Like, we've always hit it pretty hard.
Hey, get me a seltzer water.
We were trying to come up with band names.
So he was coming up to me with all these names, and we would look them up, and we would look the fucking names up, and somebody had it. I'm like, nope. Here's his story, and I'll tell you mine.
One day I came to him with one, and he was back in the dish room washing dishes, and he eats off of the plates, you know, and he like eats pancakes and shit when he's washing dishes. And so I go back there with one, and he just turns around and goes like, Buck Gooter, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, Buck Gooter, that's what's up, man. And I just like kind of trailed off.
He said I was eating some soup and crackers or something, and he came up to me and he said a name. He said something to. I was in a bad mood, and I said, I said fuck you to him. I said fuck you, but I had crackers in my mouth. He's like, Buck Gooter, that's it. I'm like, dude, no, I don't want that name, man, dude, no.
Then I thought about it, and I was like, he just said fuck you. That's the name. That's really what happened. It really is. Like, the more I think about it, like, that's the way. Like, if you were eating a pancake and you said fuck you, and you were like, and it was like kind of coming out of your mouth, that was Buck Gooter would sound like that.
Now my story is that Buck Dharma's my favorite guitarist, though, and then you know, and then we have the sci-fi element, but it's a little goofy. So Gooter, and I thought nobody's got the name Gooter, you know. You know, his story's probably right.
Loudoun County Library. That's your yearbook, bud. Oh shit.
I'm not.
Remember these?
I have to.
Mike Lindsay?
I'd have to read the fucking names. I don't know.
You? Where? In the back? No, that's you. That's you. That's you. Oh my gosh. 8th graders. No Moxley.
There he is. There's Dude Moxley.
Dude Moxley! Oh my god!
You think I made it up, dude? I told you.
Oh my god!
My fucking memory, man.
That guy's name is Dude Moxley.
We were buddies.
Dude Moxley.
That's from Hey Joey, that's from 1968 or 9.
8.
Shoot. No, it goes on B4.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to check this stuff out.
Make sure they don't shrink.
That's what I'm saying.
That can't make anything else shrink, though.
No more shrieking.
Well, you'll still have the shrieking.
don't pull anybody's influence into their artistic pursuits. They just go directly after what they want to do and the sound that they want to make and how they want it to feel and how they want it to be performed, and then that's exactly what they do.
Stop the drums! Stop the drums!
I refer to it as Buck Gooter therapy whenever I go to the show because it completely rejuvenates me and it feels like I'm getting cleansed, basically.
You know, being in a town like Harrisonburg for guys like that are making this really experimental music, you know, it's not easy because there's just not a market that's large enough to fully appreciate music like that. And that's what's so cool. Like, you know, they go out into the world and they tour constantly, and they'll do shows to just, you know, huge amounts of people. They played with Henry Rollins, featured them on his radio show a bunch of times, and literally said that they were the only real punk band that was left in the United States. I mean, it's just crazy to think that people like that are conscious of the fact that Buck Gooter exists, which is awesome, and it's because they tour.
This is a time when you're sure not to see him.
I gotta take this.
Again? There's no 63-year-old guy touring regularly the shitty fucking circuit that we tour. That's just a given. That doesn't happen. But Terry, you know, it's like Terry doesn't care. It's like that's where we can play. That's where we can go. That's what we can do. You know, like that's what we've got. That's all we've got. What's that?
You know the order when we're playing?
We're playing last. Yeah, we got it. The room. Terry.
Mentally, he's not 63. He's like 25 at the oldest. Like his mind works in the same way that I feel like it probably worked when he was very young, because he hasn't given up any sort of will to make art. You know, it's a folk expression. It's like what we have, this is what we do, and we try to do it as much as we can. You know, it's like our thing. I mean, like, you know, we have conversations all the time, and I'm like, nothing that happens to us is going to stop us from getting together once a week and laying it out in the basement.
I can do. What do you want me to do? Stay here? Look over here? I don't know. I just was getting to know my mom. She probably dies on me. You want to see it? And you want to point it at that motherfucker instead of me making me look all stupid? All right. rock. I'm intoxicated, and I'm not going to be like that tomorrow, I don't think. You know, I just met her. I mean, I haven't, she's never been in my life. My mom was a really good Christian and all that stuff, but so I wanted to write something for her that, you know, I don't embrace what she believes or anything like that, but I wanted to. But it's called Sweet Solitude. Okay. Is this all there is, one lonely grave? I wish there were future plans to be made. Gone your reflection from life's shattered mirror. I was just getting to know you, Mom, now you're not here. Is this all there is, a name on a stone? In marinated sadness, I weep here alone. So this is the way that things conclude. May you rest in peace forever in sweet solitude. So I wrote it for my mother. Yeah. Oh, shit. I already did Black Sabbath for you, didn't I? I'll do it again.
I'd almost have to starve then I wouldn't do it.
But so it's, you know, that's the thing about Terry. It's like he pulls in people because he has such a unique access with the kind of person that he is and with the kind of art that he makes and with the way that he puts himself out there. I think people respond to him in just a completely different way and at a completely different level. All art, I feel like, is translation. His ability to translate everything that's happened in his entire life. That's what makes it obvious when you see it, but you can't put your finger on it, you can't reproduce it. Everything that's impacted his life up to that moment that makes that even possible.
Because we all have struggles and we've all had problems in our past, and so I think what he's doing kind of transcends through the music to the people in the crowd and helps with whatever they might be dealing with at the time.
With Terry, it's always been like, that guy is doing his thing, and he's gonna keep doing that no matter what, you know?
The fact that he's like definitely not a follower. Like, there's nothing that pulls that dude in any direction other than the direction that he's already going. That's what's kind of exciting still, is to think, you know, what's Terry Turtle gonna be doing when he's 73, and 83, and 93, and because he's Terry Turtle, I feel like 103, like,
that is his thing. That's his gift to the world. And it's a great gift, and we're lucky to have it.
That's not enough of that.